All right, we know that money questions keep a lot of us up at night, and so we try to tackle those head on. And today we're diving back into your biggest financial worries. We're going straight to the viewer inbox for these once again. Joining us is money and business expert Derrick Kinney once again to break it all down with some simple, no-nonsense advice to hopefully allay some of your fears about the things that are keeping you up at night. Derrick, thanks again for being with us for this today.
My pleasure. Great to be with you, Jason. Bring on the questions.
Here we come. All right. The first one is from Sam in Fort Worth. They ask about saving for their child's college, saying that college isn't the only option these days, though. So they're asking, what is the smart move there?
Sam, great question. And back 10 years ago, the obvious answer would have been, of course, save for your kids' college. Now there's so many options. And what I would tell you is there's many, many bright kids that have the potential to launch a business or work for themselves in high school and in college. Here's what I would tell you to do. Put 20% into a dedicated education fund. That way it grows tax deferred. The other 80% park it into what's called a brokerage account. I call this an education empowerment fund. It gives you total flexibility as the parent or the grandparent. If your son or daughter wants to start a business, buy a business, take a YouTube course, gives them flexibility while they're younger to make more money.
All right, some good advice there. Our next question comes from Kayla in Dallas. She says that she's worried about President Trump's tariffs and what they are doing to the stock market these days. We have seen the market kind of whipsawing back and forth, Derrick. She's asking if she should pull her money out of her investments right now.
Well, Kayla, you should be worried because a good investor is worried about what could hurt them financially. But here's what I would tell you. You want to stay in the market, but if you're having trouble sleeping at night, you're worried, anxious, nervous, take a little bit out, but keep adding money into things like the S&P 500 or growth funds in your 401k. That way, one day the market's higher, one day it's lower. They call that dollar cost averaging, kind of easing the money in. The bottom line is most of these tariffs are threats. And we've seen market drops on the threat and the market bounces back up on the resolution. So if you're out of the market, you're going to miss out. Gradually easing in money may be your best course of action in times of volatility like this.
Yeah, those volatile days can be hard for sure. Coming up next here, we are hearing from Latham in Grand Prairie, Derrick. He says, I know you've helped people to become millionaires. I just graduated college. What's the first step I should take? Latham's ready to get to that first seven figures.
Latham, I love that attitude. And what I would tell you is don't let youth be looked upon negatively. Don't think to yourself, well, I've got to have all this life experience to become a millionaire. There's a lot of college graduates and even people who choose not to go to college that by making the right money moves put themselves on the right path. Step number one, though, is set 3 personal and 3 financial goals. Without a goal, no football team would run a play. There's no script for a movie. You've got to have a goal and a plan. And once you write down what it is that you want and tie incentives to it every quarter to keep you motivated, you'll be shocked and amazed by how much progress you make financially and get you on the path to millionaire status.
All right. I like the way that he's thinking, though, early on there.
I do, too.
Finally, we get to Latonia in Plano, who says that she and her husband are 5 years away from retirement. And Derrick, it seems like every time we open up the inbox, somebody's asking something similar to this because it's a big fear a lot of people have. How do we really know we won't run out of money?
Well, and there's so many rules of thumb. People say you need 90%, people say you need 50%, and nobody knows, and it causes worry and anxiety. Over 25 years of building a successful financial planning business, there's one thing I discovered with clients that worked every single time, and it was to live on a practice retirement budget. So I would tell people 6 to 12 months prior to retirement, even earlier if better, live on what you think you need to live on in retirement while you're working. We had a client go so far as to direct deposit their entire check to a separate account, and we then sent them what they said they needed to test it. And here's what it did, Jason. It proved out in most cases how much you really need based on your lifestyle and goals, but also let many people retire earlier than they thought. That could be really helpful for our viewers today.
Ooh, some people are going to like that whole earlier than they thought part of that. Derrick, you saved the best part for last.
Just rolls off the tongue.
Hey, thanks a lot, as always, for going through the inbox with us again, Derrick.
My pleasure. Thank you, Jason.